Welcome to the channel, your go-to source for MMA news, breakdowns, and fight analysis. Let's get straight into it. In classic Alexander Volkanovski fashion, the champ reclaimed what was his, and he did it with style. He defeated Diego Lopes via unanimous decision, using relentless pressure, surgical precision, and years of experience to control the fight from start to finish. Lopes had a few promising moments, especially early on, but Volk's championship grit, cage IQ, and composure under fire were on full display throughout. Coming off a tough recent loss, many fans and analysts started to question whether the featherweight king was finally slowing down. But Volkanovski answered those doubts with a resounding no. This was a vintage, textbook performance that reminded everyone why he's been at the top of the pound-for-pound list for so long. His takedowns were timed to perfection, his striking was crisp and calculated, and his octagon control never faltered. It wasn't the flashiest fight of the night, but it was pure, high-level technical excellence. Volkanovski is back on top of the featherweight mountain, and with hungry contenders lining up, the king's throne is not only secure, it's fortified. The hype train isn't just rolling anymore, it's a full-blown freight engine, and Paddy Pimblett is behind the controls, pushing it at full throttle. In the biggest, most high-stakes fight of his career so far, Paddy stepped up and delivered, finishing Michael Chandler via a third-round TKO. And let's be clear, this wasn't some fluke or lucky punch. Paddy came in with a focused, disciplined game plan, stuck to it, and executed under pressure. He picked his shots smartly, maintained composure in the pocket, and gradually broke Chandler down with volume, accuracy, and relentless pressure. Chandler looked dangerous early and landed some solid shots, but Paddy weathered the storm, adjusted on the fly, and surged when it mattered most. After the win, he wasted no time, calling out Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje, letting the world know he's aiming for the top. The arena erupted, social media lit up, and fans everywhere had something to say. Love him or hate him, Paddy just took out a top-tier lightweight, and the rest of the division better take notice. He's coming for the crown. In classic Conor fashion, the stakes were high, even outside the cage. McGregor reportedly dropped a $500,000 bet on Michael Chandler to win by knockout. Ouch. After Chandler's third-round TKO loss to Paddy Pimblett, that money vanished, along with Conor's bragging rights. McGregor had been hyping Chandler all week, even teasing a potential rematch or future fight implications. Losing that kind of cash isn't just a hit to the wallet, it's a hit to the ego. Fans were quick to roast the former champ on social media, with memes and GIFs flooding the timeline minutes after the loss. Whether this fuels McGregor's fire to return or just adds to his wild betting legacy, it definitely added drama to an already electric night. Right after the biggest win of his career, Paddy Pimblett made it clear he wants the belt. In his post-fight interview, he said people have been underestimating him for too long. He praised his coaches for a brilliant game plan and highlighted how much his striking has evolved. "I'm not just a hype guy," he said. "I'm a title contender." He emphasized how calculated his performance was and how the doubters motivated him. Paddy also made it known he's ready for top-tier opponents. He name-dropped guys in the top 5 and said, "Give me one more, and I'm fighting for gold." You can tell this one wasn't just personal. It was a message to the UFC, the fans, and the haters. Paddy wants the smoke, and he's coming for the strap. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected this outcome. Silva stunned the MMA world by submitting Bryce Mitchell with a slick ninja choke. Mitchell, known for his ground game and toughness, tapped out in the second round in a moment that had fans and analysts scrambling to rewatch the replay. Silva wasn't exactly known for his submission skills, which made this even more shocking. Post-fight, he said it was something he'd been working on behind closed doors. Clearly, it paid off. It's one of those moments where a fighter instantly elevates their stock. Now everyone's talking about Sean Silva as a dangerous, well-rounded contender. Bryce Mitchell looked genuinely surprised by how fast the tide turned. A massive win for Silva, and a massive wake-up call for the division. A historic moment for women's MMA. Amanda Nunes has officially been inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. Widely regarded as the greatest female fighter of all time, Nunes dominated 2 divisions and retired on top. Her resume is stacked. Double champ, knockout wins over legends like Ronda Rousey, Chris Cyborg, and Holly Holm, and a legacy built on violence and class. The Hall of Fame induction was emotional, with fans and fellow fighters paying tribute. Dana White called her one of the most important champions in UFC history. Nunes paved the way for a new generation of fighters and redefined what dominance looks like. Whether you watched her rise or tuned in late, you knew when Amanda Nunes was fighting. It was must-see TV. What a return for Dominic Reyes. After a rough patch that saw him suffer multiple tough losses, many wondered if he'd ever return to form. Well, those doubts got smashed when he knocked out Nikita Krylov in the first round. That's now 3 straight wins for Reyes. And with the light heavyweight division wide open, he's officially back in the title picture. His movement was sharp, his power looked elite again, and mentally, he seemed confident, something that was missing during his losing streak. After the fight, he said he feels like his old self, again, and is eyeing a shot at the belt. With just one more win, Reyes could very well be fighting for gold. The division better take notice. The Devastator is back. Yair Rodriguez returned to the win column in a big way, defeating Patricio Pitbull by unanimous decision. After a recent losing streak, this was a must-win, and he delivered. Yair used his signature kicking game and dynamic movement to keep Pitbull off rhythm. It was a measured, smart performance, showing maturity and discipline. No wild overextensions, just clean technical work. After the fight, Yair called for a featherweight title shot, saying he's still one of the most dangerous fighters in the division. Fans have been questioning his future, but this one reminded everyone why Yair was once seen as a future champ. With a statement like that, don't be surprised if he gets a top contender or title eliminator next. Backstage altercations. The fights didn't stop after the final bell. Backstage, things got heated. Paddy Pimblett and Colby Covington had a fiery exchange that nearly turned into a full-blown brawl. Sources say security had to step in quickly to keep them separated. But that wasn't all. Merab Dvalishvili was also involved in a tense moment when a fan misled him during a live stream. It led to an intense confrontation that's since gone viral on MMA Twitter. These unscripted moments are reminders that real tensions run deep in the sport. Whether it's promotional buildup or genuine beef, the UFC's backstage is sometimes just as explosive as the octagon. And with Paddy's star rising, you can bet we'll be seeing more of these high-stakes face-offs. Community reactions. The MMA community lit up after the card. Fighters, analysts, and fans all had something to say. Aljamain Sterling tweeted props to Paddy for a complete performance, while Dustin Poirier called the Silva submission sick. Dan Hardy broke down Yair's striking on his podcast within hours of the event ending. Even Dana White shared clips on Instagram, hyping the energy of the night. What stood out was the respect across the board. Even fighters outside the UFC chimed in. You know, a card hits differently when competitors give shout-outs to each other, win or lose. Reactions poured in, not just for the winners, but also for the unpredictability and emotion on display. This wasn't just another card. It was a momentum shifter for several divisions. What do you guys think? Let us know below. If you like this video, then you may like what YouTube is suggesting right now. Stay tuned for more MMA breakdowns, fight analysis, and latest MMA news. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching.